All right, last page. Number 15 says the table shows the cost of a ski rental package for a given number of people. The rate of change is constant. Find the rate of change. Explain what the rate of change means for the situation. So if you look at this table, that's supposed to be talking about the cost of ski rental packages. So for 4 people, it says if 4 people go skiing, the cost is $160. And then if one more person goes, so now we have 5 people, the cost is now $200. So by adding just one person, by adding one, the cost went up how much? Well, what do we have to add to 160 to get all the way up to 200? You'd have to add $40. Okay, so that means that for every one person, or at least for this first example, for every one person we add, we're adding $40. Well, let's make sure that works for the next step. If I add 1 from 5 to 6, well, I did add 1, and we should add 40. Well, 200 plus 40 is 240, so that works. And then even the last step, from 6 to 7 is 1, so I'm still adding 1, and from 240 to 280, I'm still adding $40. Okay? So to explain this, I'm going to write for every one person that's added to the ski package, the cost increases $40. And there I'm done. And then the last question on this page and on the packet says a dog runs up a steep hill, then rests, then walks across a flat plateau, and finally walks up a small hill. Which graph could represent the elevation of the dog? So if I look at all these graphs, A, B, C, and D, it's giving me as time goes on, so as we move from left to right this way, the dog is changing in elevation. So the dog starts at this elevation, and then looks like as time goes on in this first graph, he's going up in elevation, and then for a period of time here, he stays at the same elevation, and at the end, he just goes up a little bit. Whereas in the second one, in B, he starts going up, but then he goes back down, and then he stays at the same elevation, and then he goes up again. So if I look at what they're telling me, it says in the question, a dog runs up a steep hill. So that tells me that the elevation needs to increase at the very beginning. So if I look at A, it does increase in the very beginning, so that works. And in B, it also increases in the very beginning. And in C, it increases, and in D, it increases. So far, it could be any of them. But then it says, then he rests. So after he increases, I should see somewhere where he rests. Now, if he's resting, he's staying at the same elevation. So time is still going on, but he is staying at that elevation. So I should see the line go straight across or stay parallel to this time axis because he's not changing in elevation. So A could be an option, but B can be eliminated because B, after he goes up the hill, looks like he goes down. So B can't be the right option. And C also can't be the right option because as C, it goes up the entire time. Well, this says he rests, so there should be some point where he's at the same elevation for a period of time. So it's either A or D, because this one also has a period of time where he stops. Okay? The next part says, then he walks across a flat plateau, and then finally walks up a small hill. So at the very end of this graph, I should see somewhere where he goes up again. So the only difference between these two right here is this one shows that he goes down again and then up, whereas this one, he stays at the same elevation and then he goes up. Well, in this question, it never says anything about the dog going down a hill, so I can eliminate D. So my answer, the correct answer, is going to be A.